Hello, and welcome to episode 11 of the What Say You podcast.
A top-notch sounding quality podcast.
I don't know what more to do to make this podcast sound better.
Right, you get rid of your cats that are basically fighting like they're in the movie Gladiator right now.
Okay, they're playing. That's cats playing. What happened was the last two episodes of What Say You have sounded to me like shit. I was embarrassed by them. So
I was okay with it.
We went out and dropped a boatload of money on a new recorder that Declan suggested for us. And if this doesn't sound great,
fuck yourselves.
just go fuck yourselves.
Fuck you, because what do you want us to do?
Do you know how much time I have in my life to be running around buying microphones and recording? Zero.
I'm a regular fellow.
Right. What regular it's the holiday season. I'm supposed to be buying gifts for my fucking family and loved ones.
Who do I look like? PC Richard?
No, you don't.
Do I look like his sons?
No.
Okay.
And let me ask you something. Does my initials say B and H?
No.
No, it says B and Q.
That's right.
Not B and H.
Don't confuse it.
Please. So here we are in what I hope is the best sounding podcast that there ever was.
What was the jingle? Was that PC Richard when it's like, Dick Lewis is watching?
I don't know.
Yeah, that was like a famous thing.
Yeah, I remember Dick Lewis.
Yeah, was that PC Richard?
Oh,
Cat's drinking your iced tea.
No, she does that
it's like
stuff.
a step away from bestiality now.
It's nowhere near bestiality.
Well, you definitely made out with each other then.
Well, that's fine. Nope. The reason is that she can't drink caffeine. That's the issue here.
Right.
Okay, so
Dick Lewis is watching.
Right. Did you hear that there's a startup podcast? There's a startup podcast competing with us at this very moment.
No.
You didn't know that?
I did not.
That James Murray and Joe Gatto are recording an episode of the Tenderloins podcast at this very second.
No, they're not.
They are.
That's not true.
It is dead true.
How do you know that?
They told me they were doing it today.
With what? Just like on GarageBand?
Yeah, like something.
Well, that is so ironic and silly. Well, they shouldn't be doing one. Well, they can do one whenever they want, really.
Well,
that's the whole
right.
point.
That's the whole point.
But they're doing one when we can't do one because we're doing this one. But we started doing this one because they wouldn't do one when we needed to do the other one.
That's right. Which is good. I like it. I think it's great.
It's all right. It seems silly. See, we want to do the Tenderloins podcast, at least bi-weekly because we have crazy schedules.
Well, bi-monthly.
Is that the same thing? Bi-monthly is twice a month. Bi-weekly is twice a week.
Is that right?
I don't know. I thought bi-weekly meant every 2 weeks.
I thought bi-weekly means twice a week.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny. 6 to 1.
No, bi-weekly is twice a week.
Twice a week.
No?
I thought it was every 2 weeks.
Oh, well, whatever. What have you?
Bi-curious.
What do I look like, a dictionary?
Twice curious. We wanted to do it every other week, but we had a tight schedule, and that was even hard to do. But then when we found that we could do it sometimes, it was hard because
right.
we all couldn't be there. So we were like, well, we want to get something going where we could do it more consistently, and we live close to each other.
Right.
So we started this venture.
It's a cat running.
I don't know why we do this. This should not be. Every time we do a podcast at your house, 20% of the podcast is dedicated to your cats fighting to the death.
That's definitely picking up. Okay.
All right. All right. I don't know what to do at this point, guys. People listening, just please put yourself in my shoes. Again, I'm not Dick Lewis. I'm not PC Richard. I got cats fighting. I got fucking Tex-Mex.
Okay.
Did you find out who Dick Lewis was?
Well, no. What I did find was the commercial.
Dick Lewis is watching.
Yes.
That wasn't for PC Richard?
I don't know. Let's play the commercial and find out. How's that sound? All right. Newmark and Lewis.
What the fuck? What's Newmark and Lewis?
It appears to be
Newmark and Lewis.
Yes.
And what was he watching?
Here, let's.
Is that the high volume on there?
This is as high as the volume goes. Yeah. Here we go. Ready?
Dick Lewis is watching. Mark and Lewis. Dick Lewis is watching. Mark and Lewis watching the price.
Holy shit.
Giving great advice. Watching the store to save you so much more. New Mark and Lewis. We always beat the competition. Dick Lewis is watching.
Holy shit. All at once, completely genius and completely one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
It's on YouTube. You can look it up.
I guess that was a local electronics store in New York. Because they showed a city bus.
Yes. And you know what shocked me is that bus was one of the newer buses.
Yeah.
That wasn't like one of the buses we grew up with.
First of all, that commercial was I don't know, it was a national commercial, but even in a local spot, that commercial looked like it was made, if that was made today, that person will be executed.
All right, Newmark and Lewis stores closed in 1992. Good.
All right. And that basically looked like someone would, it looked like the room of commercials. Like Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Right.
Like, it was like if someone who never wrote a commercial, filmed a commercial, acted in a commercial, or conceived a commercial before made a commercial.
Right.
That's what it just looked like.
Because
there's people dancing in synchronized dancing at the bus stop. And they couldn't even afford, the guy was reading a newspaper.
Right.
It looked like, did you see that newspaper?
Well, the newspaper said Newmark and Lewis is
did it?
watching, so it was a prop newspaper.
Dick Lewis is watching. I wonder where that spawned from. Obviously, so Newmark doesn't give a shit.
Right. Just Dick Lewis. Newmark is like, hey, dude, like,
Yeah.
chill out.
You're not at work again? What do I need to be there for? Dick's watching.
Right.
He's watching, and then it shows like his creepy old eyes like peering at everybody. I wonder how many lawsuits Dick Lewis had.
I don't know. It just said it closed in 92, that they had 26 stores.
Class action suit. Here it is, here on Wikipedia. Class action suit closed down in 1992 because a lot of the female employees complained Dick Lewis was watching them in the restrooms.
Holy shit, you know who cut them down?
PC Richard.
Kmart and the
What?
Price Club.
No.
They couldn't compete with them.
Well, yeah, hello. That's the same all over the country to this day. People can't compete with Walmart, Kmart.
Oh, no.
What?
It's such a depressing quote. I thought we were going to hang on until air conditioning season, but we didn't make it, said Mike Mancino, assistant manager of Newmark and Lewis store in the Bronx. The manufacturers are demanding their money, and we just couldn't come up with it. That's so sad. Guys.
Death of an American dream.
Guys, I know times are tough, and I know we got to tighten our belts a little bit, but if we could just make it to air conditioning season, like, we'll be all right. Like, everything will be all right.
Things.
It's a kitten. It's literally a kitten.
Yeah, but it started sucking on my middle finger. I didn't notice it. Things started heating up, so to speak,
Right.
in the air conditioning electronics world.
Yeah.
Of Newmark and Lewis. They closed down. It's capitalism at its finest,
Sad, though.
right there.
Sad.
Dick Lewis, what's he watching now? He's watching his hand jerk his own. I don't know why I don't know. I'm not trying to come down on Dick Lewis. God bless that guy. Is he alive? Can you see if he's still alive?
I'm having a little bit.
Is Dick Lewis on Twitter?
Oh, my God. I hope he is.
Dick Lewis. I mean, the day that door, the day the door is closed, the day that shut down, he must be like, I ain't watching shit ever again.
My watching days are over. Dick Lewis is watching.
How many times did he have to take that as a silly pun joke in his life?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, we just
He just died.
March 2013.
He just died.
Just died.
Dick Lewis.
Richard David Dick Lewis, co-founder of the New York City chain Newmark and Lewis, died on March 2nd, 2013. His age was not disclosed. The chain, based in Hicksville, New York, closed for good in 1992. But in the late 1970s and throughout the 80s, it was the largest CE, I don't know what CE and appliances, consumer electronics, I guess.
Yeah.
And appliance retail, it was the largest in the New York metro area with almost 70 stores.
Wow, 7-0.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I know.
It's ubiquitous and quirky local TV ads featuring the tagline, Dick Lewis is watching, made him a household name in and around the city. He is survived by his wife of 62 years.
Whoa.
He's got a fucking ton of kids. Peter, Sandy, Sasha, Michelle, and Todd, and 7 grandkids.
Well, when you're hawking air conditioners at reasonable prices all over the tri-state area, you can afford to keep popping them out.
Wow, I wish we had started this a year ago, buddy.
Wow.
Well, I think it's safe to say we could dedicate this episode to the memory of Dick Lewis.
And it's probably safe to say he's up there watching.
Let's hope, right?
Yeah. You can only hope.
It's true. Growing up in New York City and given our numbers of people in Korea who watch us, listen to us, probably don't know who Dick Lewis is.
That's right.
Do you think they know who Crazy Eddie is?
That was regional too, wasn't it?
That was regional too.
Crazy Eddie was, oh my God, that was amazing. And the guy who played Crazy Eddie was another electronics,
Crazy Eddie,
consumer electronics and air conditioning type store as well.
Right. All right. What say you, Sal? Local New York consumer electronics stores.
It's so weird how they captured like a chunk of like the pop culture when we were growing up. You know?
Yeah.
Like, especially that they were like local, they just must have played stuff on loop. I mean, back then there was like 5 channels, so if there was a commercial, it was on.
Right.
You saw it.
And Crazy Eddie, growing up in New York City, it wasn't Eddie himself.
Oh, you know what?
What?
Hold on.
Oh. Breaking news on the Crazy Eddie.
Well, I was going to say, people may know him, but maybe not, because Seinfeld lived in New York. But Seinfeld spoofed Crazy Eddie on Seinfeld.
But did he mention that he was spoofing Crazy Eddie?
No.
So people might not have
He called the guy the Wiz.
Well, the Wiz was another.
Right, the Wiz was another one, but that was national. But I think he was called it was the Wiz, but like he made the guy a Crazy Eddie. He like yelled and screamed at the television. He wore like a turtleneck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Wiz was also a consumer store here in New York, and it might have been everywhere.
Yeah.
And I would like to publicly say, the Wiz could go fuck itself.
Yeah, fuck you, Wiz.
Fuck you, Wiz, because they were the most overpriced fucking store in the world.
They had a stronghold. They were like Best Buy Circuit City before Best Buy Circuit City
had to compete with each other.
It was just the Wiz. There was only the Wiz.
Right. And they were basically like, welcome to the Wiz, put this up your ass, and go fuck yourself.
Right.
And buy some CDs at $22 a pop.
$23 a CD.
Right. And the place was always a mess.
Packed.
And if you fucking dared to ask for help in the Wiz, they looked at you like you were a piece of human shit that crawled out of the toilet every year.
And they had also a pretty famous tag song, Nobody Beats the Wiz. Nobody Beats the Wiz, which Biz Markie took and sampled and made a song, Nobody Beats the Biz.
Wow, he was timely.
Yeah.
All right, so going back to Crazy Eddie, though. Crazy Eddie was a local retailer here in New York. He had a store in Staten Island by the Staten Island Mall. And I still have a deck of cards that say Crazy Eddie on them.
I have a wallet.
Do you have a wallet?
Yeah.
Oh, that beats my...
Because what they used to do, Crazy Eddie, was they used to do... This was way more common in the 80s, but they used to do these promotions.
Store giveaways.
And it got people out.
Yeah.
They would be like, Crazy Eddie, like this weekend from like 11 to 2, we're going to give away free gift.
Right.
That's what they would say.
Yeah.
And the line would be going down the block. And it would be like, oh, here's a keychain. Here's a Velcro wallet. That's what I have. And that's what and people would go line up for it.
Yeah, I was on that line. And the commercials for it, I'm sure we could find it online, where they had this actor who would go berserk. He would pop out of, like Christmas times, there would be a giant gift, and he would just pop out of it.
But ape shit.
Perfect word.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, oh, you gotta come on down. Crazy Eddie, our prices are insane.
Yeah.
And that was his thing, right? And then,
And as a kid, I always thought that was Crazy Eddie, but it wasn't. Like, that was just... And they never meant for him to be Crazy Eddie. He used to refer to Crazy Eddie.
right.
His prices are insane, I think he used to say.
Let's see if I can find the commercial because it's worth. And
Well,
again,
there's many of them.
right.
And he used to wear the same outfit. It was like a blue turtleneck with a sports coat, and he had white hair. He was beet red in the face, and he looked like he was about to have a heart attack.
Yeah. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. This is Crazy Eddie from 1984. So you and I were 8, right?
Yeah.
8. Let's see.
Beat the heat! Beat the heat with a fan or air conditioner from Crazy Eddie. Get the guaranteed lowest sale prices anywhere on electric fans and air conditioners. It's going to be a long, hot summer, and the prices of electric fans and air conditioners are going to go up, up, up with the temperature. So get an electric fan or air conditioner on sale from Crazy Eddie now. Shop around. Get the lowest sale prices you can find. Then go to Crazy Eddie and he'll beat them. So be cool and beat the heat. See Crazy Eddie now. His prices are insane.
And that was a more tame one.
Yeah, I think I saw the Christmas one. If you'll indulge us.
I remember that one. Shop around. Find the best prices you can find.
Here we go. Here's the Christmas one. It's only 30 seconds. Just stick with us, please.
Hold the mistletoe, because it's a Crazy Eddie Christmas blowout blitz. Crazy Eddie's got everything you can possibly need for Christmas, and it's all on sale now. TVs, VCR, stereo systems, telephone answering machines, anything and everything.
People
Home
throwing
entertainment,
snowballs
home
at them.
appliances too. Remember, we are not undersold. We will not be undersold. We cannot be undersold, and we mean it. Santa knows that the best deals in town are at Crazy Eddie's during Crazy Eddie's Christmas blowout blitz. See Crazy Eddie now. His prices are insane. Hit me, ha ha ha.
Holy shit! Oh my god, he went off the fucking deep end on that one.
That was great.
I mean, it's brilliant. It's genius. First of all, it's
Yeah.
one actor. It's
One take.
It's one take,
Right.
and it's a camera on a tripod with no motion, no cameraman, no DP, no nothing.
Right.
It's the most simple thing. He's just standing in front of a tripod on a camera, screaming, and it became absolutely famous.
Oh, yeah.
That's all it took back then.
That's it. And in this particular commercial, the crew got into it. And now knowing what we do with making a TV show and stuff like that, they were off camera just pelting him. And I bet he ad-libbed that end line where he's like, hit me,
Oh,
hit me.
absolutely. What was happening in the commercial was the music was playing, there was fake snow falling, and he was getting pelted with snowballs.
Yeah.
And somewhere in the middle, someone threw like a 5-foot candy cane at him, and he caught it and started swinging it around like an axe.
I'll have Declan, or I'll ask Declan. I don't have Declan do anything. I'll ask Declan to link them to the website. What say you?
If anybody could find outtakes to Crazy Eddie commercial, because I'm sure they're amazing. Did you ever see that Winnebago Man documentary?
It's fascinating.
And
man.
yeah.
So do you want to hear about Crazy Eddie? Do you know the history of him?
Let's talk about it. Let's start with the actor, you mean?
No, the guy who owned this store.
I'm interested in both, actually.
Okay, you look up the actor. I'll read Crazy Eddie's stories. What happened is, this is directly off Wikipedia. Although I do know this story, I do have a little insight into this story. Crazy Eddie was an American retail business that sold electronics goods. Blah 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 blah. Crazy Eddie was started in 1971 in Brooklyn, New York, by businessmen Eddie and Sam Antar. Blah, 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 blah. The chain rose to prominence through the tri-state region as much for its prices as for its memorable radio and television commercials featuring a frantic, crazy character played by radio DJ Jerry Carroll.
Jerry Carroll, okay.
Who copied most of his shtick from early TV commercial pioneer Earl Muntz. At its peak, Crazy Eddie had 43 stores in the chain and made more than $300 million in sales.
How many?
300 million.
How many stores?
43.
Oh, so beat by Newmark and Lewis by like...
Oh, sure.
Newmark and Lewis being by 27 stores.
However, here, where things take a dark turn.
Oh, here we go again. There's an air conditioning.
In February 1987, the U.S. Attorney for the District of New Jersey commenced a federal grand jury investigation into the warranty billing practices of Crazy Eddie. In September of that year, the United States Security and Exchange Commission initiated an investigation into alleged violations of federal securities laws by certain Crazy Eddie officers. Eddie Antar, Crazy Eddie himself, was eventually charged with a series of crimes. Here's where it gets interesting.
No.
Unable to sustain his fraudulent business practices, co-founder Eddie cashed in millions of dollars worth of stock options and resigned from the company in 86. Crazy Eddie's board of directors lost control of the company in 87. It just shut down. The entire Antar family was unable to turn around Crazy Eddie's quickly declining fortune. The company declared bankruptcy and liquidated. Crazy Eddie became a symbol for corporate fraud in its time. He fled to Israel in 1990, returned to the United States in 93 to stand trial. His 1993 conviction on fraud charges were overturned, but he eventually pleaded guilty in 96. In 97, Antar was sentenced to 8 years in prison and paid a large fine. He was released from prison in 99. Now,
wow, that's unbelievable.
I spoke to a law enforcement officer that worked on his case.
Really?
This is a few years back. And he told me that one of the ways when they were liquidating the business that he screwed everybody out was he had 3 warehouses full of goods, right? And the people who were coming to count how much they were worth were like, all right, listen, we're going to be at warehouse A on Tuesday. We're going to be at warehouse B on Wednesday. Warehouse C, we're going to hit on Friday. Right?
Right.
So they let the liquidators come in and count all the TVs and stuff like that in warehouse A. Then overnight, they moved everything from warehouse A to warehouse B. They came and recounted all that stock plus the stock that was in C. And then overnight, they moved all the stock to the third warehouse.
No.
So they inflated their personal worth. And then that's what they were able to liquidate and sell off to the country to whoever buys that.
How could they sell it? They didn't have the product.
That's right. They just sold it, and then when they went to come up to pick up the products, there was no fucking product to pick up.
And then he fled to...
This motherfucker was in Israel.
I mean, where did he get his nickname? Check this out. Jerry Carroll was a former New York disc jockey. He's
Still
the
alive?
guy that's screaming. Doesn't say here, but he was used in... Okay, ready?
Yeah.
How many commercials do you think he was using for Crazy Eddie? I will tell you this.
Okay.
I don't want to say higher or lower because I don't think you could ever guess this.
Okay.
But I will tell you. All right. So take your first stab. How many commercials did Crazy Eddie have with Jerry Carroll screaming in them?
Oh God.
Unique commercials.
Okay, I don't want to overshoot.
This does not sound correct. I'll put it to you that way.
It's that high because I was going to say like 20.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
What was that?
Okay.
Say?
A little higher.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
40.
40. So you doubled it.
Yeah. Well, roughly. Yeah.
A little higher.
60.
Say what you think would be ridiculous.
240.
240 commercials from Jerry Carroll screaming as crazy.
Yeah.
Unique commercials.
You're ridiculous.
Crazy Eddie's television advertisements were a large part of the reason behind the company's success. Former New York disc jockey Jerry Carroll was used in over 7,500.
What did they have, a whole channel?
7,500 commercials?
Oh my God.
Wait, I'm doing quick math. That's like a new commercial a day for like 18 years. That's impossible.
Well, is that counting radio ends?
Maybe spots.
I mean, either way.
Either way.
Holy shit.
An essential part of Crazy Eddie's success was its advertising campaign, which was started almost by accident. Antar had bought some commercial time on New York radio station WPIX, and one night in 1972, a live commercial was being done by DJ Jerry Carroll, who ended it by reading the store's slogan, "His prices are insane," in this manner. Crazy Eddie's prices are insane. Also, Jerry Carroll was just reading an advertising spot on his own show for Crazy Eddie. And he's the one who took it upon himself to scream that his prices were insane.
Okay.
You know how like Stern will like read commercial spots or whatever? Right. Antar called in and told Carroll to say the line the same way every time, and thus a working relationship was born. Beginning in 1975, Carroll moved to television. For most of the next 15 years, Carroll conducted commercials in the same frenetic manner he had on the radio. One of his more memorable promotions was the Crazy Eddie's annual Christmas and August sale, where he would dress in a Santa suit and do the commercial while stagehands threw fake snowballs at him. Carroll also had a trademark look in each commercial, wearing a blue suit with a lighter blue turtleneck in almost all of his appearances. Carroll even appeared in a Spanish-language Crazy Eddie advertisement.
Holy shit.
Although he did not have a speaking role. Fuck. Instead, his appearance consisted of him holding a radio to his ear as he walked behind the commercial spokesman, stopping only to wave at the camera several times. In the 80s and in the 1980s, more than 7,500 unique radio and television ads were aired in the tri-state region. Do you know how much money?
And there were only like 5 channels back then.
That's why we know it, because it was brainwashed into us. And I wonder how much money he made off this stuff, Jerry Carroll. They probably threw him a couple $100 each. I'm going to have to find. Carroll's acting was so convincing, and he became so identified with the company that many people thought he was actually Crazy Eddie. One commercial spoofing Superman drew a direct implication that Carroll was Crazy Eddie. Blah, 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 blah. At the time, Warner also was the parent company of Atari, and its largest customer for systems and games was Crazy Eddie. Atari's largest hawker of
That's
of
probably
systems.
why I know him too. Can anybody out there, wait a second.
Check this out. They drew a Superman comparison, and Warner, the parent company, was going to file a lawsuit, but they're also the parent company of Atari. And he said, if you sue me, I'm going to stop selling Ataris. And they withdrew the lawsuit.
Really?
Yeah.
He had that much power. Holy shit. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Q&A.
I hope everyone else is as excited
I don't
about
know.
this as us.
I don't know what to tell you. Here from 2009 is an interview with Jerry Carroll.
Is he on Twitter?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. He won't do it. He goes, last question, do you ever do the Crazy Eddie voice today, just for friends or after a couple of drinks? He goes, no, absolutely not. I've even been offered $5,000 to do the voice at a bar mitzvah, but I won't do it. That's not what that character was for. Whoa.
I mean, $5,000 after you've been in 7,500 commercials over 30 years.
Yeah, what are you doing?
That's not that much.
We got to get this guy. We got to find him. If anybody out there can track down Jerry Carroll for us, that would be amazing. That would be amazing.
In 2004, well, they tried to relaunch the whole brand in 2001. It fell through. They tried to do 10 stores and all that stuff like that. Then they were just doing online stuff. Okay. The Crazy Eddie trademark was an associated intellectual property was then acquired by Texas-based firm Trident Growth Fund in July 2006. They then auctioned it off on eBay, and the highest bidder, how much?
Couple of million?
$30,100.
And they bought it and they own it?
Yeah.
So somebody out there bought the Crazy Eddie name
Yeah.
for $30,000.
Yep.
Why the fuck weren't we aware of that, man?
I don't know.
If that was on eBay right now and the top bid was 30 grand, could I convince you to buy it with me? 15 grand.
But what do we do with it? I mean, how is that just spending $15,000 just to be like, yeah, I own Crazy Eddie to people in the tri-state area? Like, what are we going to find the time to launch a consumer electronics local brick and mortar store? Because I'd probably pass on that. Probably pass. The guy who bought it was a Brooklyn dude in 2009. He tried to find a retail space but couldn't. And he opened up an online store instead called PricesAreInsane.com. That all fell through only last year. Wow. So we are right on that. Between Newmark and Lewis.
Maybe we could steal that from
Crazy Eddie.
10 grand.
Yeah, maybe we get in contact with him. We should see if DJ Jerry Carroll is on Twitter.
Right.
We should do that.
Okay. I doubt it. It doesn't look like it. But
we want him. How amazing would it be to get him on here?
I mean, it would really only be amazing if he'd be willing to do it for us, but he's sounding like...
I don't need him to do it. We don't need him to do it. I'd rather just talk to him about everything. You know what I mean? Like, he probably won't do it if he's going to scream and yell. We just get him on here, we promise him we won't do it, and then all we do is, freaking puns and impersonations when he's on here. So, he sits down, he's like... All right, guys, it's nice to meet you guys. Thanks, for your interest, and happy to be here. And, what can we discuss? Anything that you want to discuss? And I'm just like, how are the prices?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How are the prices over the years?
The prices of what?
The consumer electronics at the Crazy Eddie.
They're low.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're low.
Were they very low?
I mean, I see what you're doing.
I'm asking a real question. I'm not
Okay.
trying to. I'm not. This is not any type of bait.
Okay.
Hook and switcher.
Yeah, they're low. They're lower than I thought. They're lower than I thought they should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were they?
I just don't.
I mean, if I was selling something
Okay.
that was way, way, way lower than it should be, almost at the point where I'm not even taking a markup.
Well, that's crazy. Why would you do that?
Man, it's crazy. It would be crazy. They would be crazy, those prices.
I mean, there would definitely be. I would question, your sanity.
Okay.
Right.
So would you say that?
That's not how you run a business, Sal.
No. It's business 101.
I mean, I've been in the consumer electronics game for a long time.
Sure. It's a horrible business model. You need profit.
Otherwise, what are you doing?
You need a markup.
Okay.
Absolutely. So that it would be the prices. Then what would they be? I mean, would they be sane?
Sane? No.
Would they be? What would you like what if you got really angry?
I mean, you're barely making a profit?
Yeah.
Wait, am I an investor in this business?
Sure.
Oh my God, I'd be furious.
Right. Why?
Because you can't not make a profit.
I understand that. Would you get angry?
Yeah, of course I get angry. I'm getting angry right now just thinking about it.
Let's say a phone call came in.
Right, okay.
And I told you that you lost, in the third quarter, sales are down by 40%.
40% because you kept those prices so low?
The prices we're making a penny profit on each thing.
Sal?
Yeah.
That is insane!
I got you.
Oh, shit!
We have no more use for you, sir.
This podcast is over. This podcast is over. You go. You won on that one.
Thanks.
All right.
We got to get him on here.
Yeah, we'll try. All right. Well, we've spent 30 minutes talking about two obscure chains.
You know, this had me thinking, though.
Okay.
All right, I don't mean to harp on all this stuff, but
Right.
do you remember, or Sesame Street, right? That's still on to this day?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Of course, it's a machine, right? It says, I haven't seen it since I was little, so I don't really know.
Right.
Obviously, I'd like to watch it now and see how it's adapted to what we have now. But do you remember when we were little, Sesame Street was very, avant-garde? Like there was, in the middle of Sesame Street, it would just cut to, like a very, urban, raw, New York City, playground. And it'd just be, kids running around, drinking out of the water fountain. And it would literally be, bebop, jazz.
Right.
Real, deep jazz cuts playing.
Right.
I mean, it was, don't you think that's, crazy? I think it's amazing, but it can't be that's the way it is now. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It would just be kids, and there'd be like an open fire hydrant, and it'd be the Dog Days of Summer and stuff, and they'd just be run, and you would just be listening to friggin' jazz, smooth jazz,
yeah,
for
right.
a few minutes.
But I think that is what made Sesame Street what it is, right?
Amazing. I'm saying there's no way they would do that today, right? It would just be and there would be a voiceover, and it'd just be it would literally be a beatnik poet type of thing. It'd be
Sometimes they'd make the announcement as to what the letter was brought to you and stuff like that. That's right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They can't pull that off today.
No, then there was an electric company and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it was all really like Hepcat type of stuff.
Sure.
It really was.
Do you remember Gary Gnu's?
Yeah, no good news is good.
Yeah, everything was so trippy back then.
Yeah, Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah.
It was. Even think about Mr. Rogers. That was like a friggin' acid trip. Think about it. There was that whole friggin' world with the train and the owl and all these imaginary fucking...
Right.
I guarantee you... You know what we should do?
Right.
And I'm sure this has been done a billion times, but I'm just an old guy who never smoked weed in his life. But I bet you smoke a little bit of that weed.
Right.
You watch a little bit of that old Rogers stuff and that old Sesame... Well, not really Sesame Street, but that old Mr. Rogers stuff.
Right.
I bet you have yourself a good time.
Yeah.
To all the college kids listening out there.
Because Snuffleupagus alone is a head fuck.
Everything is.
Because Snuffleupagus, if you remember the conceit, do you remember what the thing behind him was?
He was Big Bird's imaginary friend.
He wasn't imaginary. Or was he? That was the fucking thing. Big Bird would be hanging out in whatever. It was weird. Big Bird hung out in like an alleyway with trash like strewn all over the place. And like think about what goes into this.
Sesame Street's insane, by the way.
Right.
Now I'm starting to think about it. Literally,
Sure.
is a fucking Dracula, a guy who lives in a trash can,
Right.
an imaginary elephant,
Right.
and it's out there.
But wait, well, I just want to chase Snuffleupagus a little bit here because here's what's happening. Snuffleupagus is a giant elephant
Yeah.
who only comes out either it's the timing of it. We don't know where he comes from. We don't know where he goes.
Right.
We only know that Big Bird will be hanging out in this alleyway, and Snuffleupagus will lumber out and pal around with him in an alleyway.
Right.
And then Big Bird will turn his back on him, and he will walk away.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, like he'll walk away.
And then Big Bird was always like, "Oh, where'd he go?"
Yeah, he'll be like, "Oh wait, Gordon, you got to get over here." Like it's Snuffleupagus, the guy I've been telling you about, and Snuffleupagus will take it upon himself for 40 years straight to just turn around and walk off into the distance,
Right.
back to whence he came. We have no idea where he came from.
Right.
And Gordon will get there and listen to a giant talking bird say, He was just here.
Right.
Snuffleupagus was just here. And Gordon, for 40 years, will have been, oh, Big Bird, why are you always trying to get me on this?
And Bert and Ernie were like, there's that whole thing that they were gay, right? They were the partners.
There's something going on there, but I think they're asexual. I think the official release from the Hensons has always been they're puppets that don't have sexuality.
Okay.
You're projecting that onto them.
Right. I gotta get into some Sesame Street again.
Where does Snuffleupagus go?
I don't know. Where does any of them go? Like the Count lives in the castle, but that's not on Sesame Street.
No. Or is it?
You can't watch it now. I bet there's all those new Jack puppets now.
Like Johnny Come Latelys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things that you don't care about. We don't care about that. We want like the top, like the 10 originals or whatever it was.
Do you think Snuffleupagus is real, or do you think Big Bird's just fucked in his head?
Were you with me when we went to Sesame Street that time?
No, I
And
wasn't.
Snuffleupagus was hanging from the ceiling. No, really. They keep. I'm sure there's multiple suits, but he's so big that they hoist him in the air on ropes,
Wait a
and
second.
his lifeless, dead, snuffy body is hanging from the rafters. And you don't even notice till you look up, and it's fucking a huge, hairy brown Snuffleupagus,
Right.
and he's just hanging there lifeless. It's really weird.
How'd you go to Sesame Street?
I forgot. I didn't go to like. I went to like. It wasn't.
Someone we knew
Is it
worked
Lynch?
on the show.
Didn't Lynch? Somebody, I don't know. I it was at like the Henson thing in L.A. Like, what is
Right.
it? Like his studio or whatever?
Yeah.
I went somewhere and Snuffleupagus was hanging from the goddamn ceiling.
How would I not go to Sesame Street with you?
I wasn't on Sesame Street proper.
Okay.
I was like at like a thing and they had a Snuffleupagus there.
And he's just hanging from the ceiling.
He was hanging from the ceiling, yeah. But motionless. It's weird.
Yeah, let me just, I mean, has anybody ever seen, all right, let's just get into this. Thank God for fucking the internet, man. Snuffleupagus.
No, Snuffleupagus, isn't it?
Snuffleupagus. Mr. Snuffleupagus. Here we go. He has a baby sister named Alice. Oh, for many years, Big Bird was the only character on the show who saw Mr. Snuffleupagus.
See?
But later in the 17th season, he showed his friends on Sesame Street his imaginary friends so they believed him.
Wait, what? That doesn't make any sense.
So in the 17th season, they finally met Snuffleupagus.
How long has Sesame Street been on? Has to be since we were
Well, he first appeared in 71.
He appeared 5 years before we were born?
Yes.
And that's no joke. 17 years before anybody recognized him. That's crazy. Think about him.
Wow.
What is he, an elephant? What did they say he is?
He is they addressed that. He was created as a woolly mammoth without tusks or ears.
So he's a deformed woolly mammoth.
Some fucking fucked up shit happened to Snuffleupagus.
Snuffy's mom was hitting the sauce while she was gestating.
The Snuffleupagus' fur in the early years was light brown as it is today, but not exactly the same shade. He also had yellow almond-shaped eyes with thin pupils and shorter eyelashes. This appearance was deemed frightening for younger children, so it was later changed so the eyes had to look normal and have a friendly personality.
Why was he deformed? Why not? Why no ears and no tusks? Is that
know.
why he talked silly? Because he couldn't hear well? He was always like, oh.
By the late 1970s, the storylines had the adult characters becoming increasingly frustrated, with Big Bird using Snuffleupagus as a scapegoat whenever something went wrong while they were out of the room.
But he wasn't using him as a scapegoat. He was using it it was in their eyes, he was using it as a scapegoat. But in reality, it was happening.
Right.
Correct? Or no? Or was it? This is like Fight Club.
It is really bizarre.
Because if it was really his imaginary friend, then it was Big Bird doing it all the time.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Are you ready for the fucking reason that they eventually revealed Snuffleupagus to the fucking cast? Oh. Martin P. Robinson revealed in an interview that Snuffy was finally introduced to the main human cast due to a string of high-profile and sometimes graphic stories of pedophilia and sexual abuse of children that had been aired on shows such as 60 Minutes in 2020. The writers felt that by having the adults refuse to believe Big Bird, despite the fact that he was telling the truth, they were scaring children into thinking their parents would not believe them if they had sexually abused, and they would just better off remain silent.
Wow.
Holy shit.
I mean, that's really extrapolating there, but...
But that does show you how much they give a shit about people on Sesame Street.
Sure. Yeah, but then the Elmo dude didn't. Then the guy created Elmo and then like fingered everybody, didn't he?
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if the guy. I want to go on record as saying it's not the position of the What Say You podcast that the guy who performed Elmo went around quote unquote fingering everybody. That's not. It's not.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But let's just.
I don't know the details, but why not just say anything I want?
But the rumors were that he did finger at least one person.
I don't know the exact details, so
Right.
I'll just spitball here. But I think Elmo like pillaged, raped, maimed, and killed children.
So now the
guy
puppet, not even the guy, the puppet.
Well, who controls the puppet? Come on.
Right, just a dude.
What, are you not going to believe me?
I believe you. You have a podcast and you're on TV. Wow.
All right.
All right. Okay, so we probably have about 10 minutes left because we have to actually go shoot Impractical Jokers today, and I'm very curious to see how the Tenderloins podcast went as well, which is also our podcast.
Right.
Right. We're not in competition with them. It's our podcast.
No, which is great because we could actually stop these recorders right now and record the next Tenderloins podcast.
That's right. And just
right after
release
this.
it.
That's right.
Okay, so we got 10 minutes left. What do we have?
Don't forget, if you want to come see Gallagher with us,
Right.
we're going March 7th in Englewood, New Jersey.
That's right.
And that's his last Smash tour. And then we're trying to get people to go with us there. What else?
Murder Mystery is bought. We haven't set that up yet.
We have to book the Murder Mystery Night. Yes, that'll
Oh,
to come. And then the break coming up. We're going to be doing the Fast and Furious.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Over the Christmas break, the Fast and Furious marathon will be recorded.
So we'll figure out how to release that. Whether we
Right.
should do it in one shot or in pieces or at
Sure.
specials here or there, whatever it is.
But more important than that is I lined up a hot interview for next week.
Okay, I was trying to too. You mean when we're in LA or no?
No.
Okay.
Whenever we record next.
Okay.
I've reached out to his agent, and I can confirm that Nugget the Bear will be on next week's episode of What's
no.
That? Yes, he's coming back in studio style.
Oh no!
I figure maybe we could work out these details, these problems between you two.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I don't want to say it's going to be an all Nugget extravaganza next week, but Nugget will be back.
Very well, maybe.
Very excited about that.
Hard to keep Nugget down.
You've tried to keep Nugget out, but the Nugget comes back.
Nugget like Dick Lewis. Nugget is watching.
And Nugget has been scoring at the Tenderloins live show. We get Nugget. Now we just get Nuggets, right?
Nugget. everything. Nugget all day or a day.
Right. But this week we shot a bit of Impractical Jokers with where were we? We're in a Fairway Market.
Yeah.
I forget what the bit was.
Psst.
Oh, right. Okay. And
We had to say psst, tell people a secret that was given to us, and then get them to tell us a secret back.
I'm wearing a Nugget shirt in it, and then if you look in the cart that we're using, and on some of the shelves behind us, we've cleverly hidden Nugget inside the episode.
We have Nugget shirts now that we were given and that we were actually making, right?
Yeah, no, we're gonna have Nugget t-shirts up.
And have some Nugget memorabilia. Nugget, if you don't know, just go a couple episodes back. He's a honey bear that is threatening my life.
Nugget just want to be friends with Sal.
Nugget also like Crazy Eddie. Nugget insane.
but Nuggets, there's something like 40 Nugget Twitter accounts. I love them all.
Yeah.
So Nuggets. So we're gonna have Nugget back on next week.
We should have a battle of the Nugget accounts on Twitter to see who's deemed lead Nugget and who are his disciples.
Okay.
That might be fun.
Well, wasn't the idea that every Nugget is Nugget?
Right.
They're almost like the Borg, right? They're just like every Nugget has all the memories of all the Nuggets.
That's right.
So to kill Nugget, you have to eradicate
All of them.
every Nugget.
Right.
If one Nugget survives, every Nugget
So
survives.
every Nugget is the official Nugget.
Yeah.
Nugget is who he says he is.
That's right.
If not, then why would he say he is?
Right.
Like it.
So there you go. So we'll have Nugget back next week. I'm very excited by that.
Nugget to drop acid. Watch Sesame Street.
Nugget, cut Snuffleupagus' tusks off. Make combs out of them. That is why Snuffleupagus has no tusks. And when Snuffleupagus complained, Nugget cut his ears off. Anybody else want to complain to Nugget?
Oh, God.
That's what we're dealing with. So hot interview with Nugget last night.
Nugget sell all other nuggets. Fly to Israel.
Nuggets
Avoid trial.
will sell other nuggets into slavery. Nugget doesn't give a fuck. Think about what Nugget do to Sal if Sal doesn't get in line. Get in line, Sal.
Nugget is the loneliest number that you'll ever know. I don't even know what that means.
So look forward to next week where there'll be about 2 hours of this. All right, what do you want to do? You have anything else? You want to try and make your phone call?
Yeah, we'll try to make a phone call. I'm sorry about the conclusion or the closure of the pornography box. I'm working on it.
Right.
It's the best I can do. I'm just one regular fellow. Fuck you guys if you don't know. You want to look up a...
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so each week we reach out to the world,
right,
and by way of dialing a random number, we
That's
pick
right.
an area code, and we try and reach someone that we have never met, and we try and find out what's going on in their life. We have yet to get through to someone.
I had a town I wanted to try.
Okay.
Tombstone, Arizona.
Okay. You do realize that one day when this goes through, it's going to be like a 2-hour podcast because it's going to.
We risk right now not being able to film Impractical Jokers today, but that's all right. You've been to Tombstone, Arizona?
No.
I've been there 3 times.
Okay.
I fucking love it.
Really?
They have embraced.
So they make pizzas?
No. Although maybe
I know.
They have embraced what they are. The whole town is a tourist attraction.
Really?
They have gunfights in the streets. They have, not real, but you know what I mean? They have people bullwhipping cards out of people's hats. Like,
wow.
like this Boot Hill Cemetery, the actual Boot Hill, you go up there, they sell sheriff badges. Like, it's fucking insane.
That's cool.
The whole town, you know how when you go to take those themed photos?
Yeah.
the whole town is like that
amazing.
set. It's brilliant.
It's amazing.
It's brilliant. Area code. So I would like to try that. The Tombstone area code is 520. So
520?
520. So
Okay.
1520, and
Okay.
then whatever number you feel.
All right, here we go.
Let's see what we got here.
Come on, Zona. Please, let's go, Arizona.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and
Son
dial
of a
again.
bitch.
062T.
Oh, God damn it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the What Say You podcast. Thank you to Junior Stopka last week for being on. Sorry about the episode being a little shitty. Thank you for Brian Johnson for recording a
Yes, sir.
insulting yet hysterical intro for us. Join us next week when the return of Nugget.
We're on tour this weekend. We'll be in Seattle and San Francisco. And then approaching, we'll be in Texas. We got a big stop. We're going to Dallas, Austin. We're going to Houston.
Right.
We're going to Georgia. That's all in the next few weeks. So check us out there. Follow us on Twitter at our own names, and of course, also at the Tenderloins.
Right. And at What Say You Pod,
And at What Say You Pod.
where I think we've done an admirable job of being active on that.
Yeah.
All right. So lots of exciting stuff coming up. Thank you guys for tuning in once again, and we will talk to you next week.
I heard that Rome wasn't built in a day. Then how come everyone is rushing to get ahead? And if I seem to be reserved, that's just my way. Your questions seem like you're interrogating me. Yeah, I try. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a D next time. Okay. Here we go. I heard the lemon metaphor 4 million times. And I don't stand for lemonade, don't ask me why. And would a beverage stand be a job that be desired? And where would I get the wood, and should I try? Should I try? Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a 65. Yeah, I try. Yeah. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I might as well just. I heard the currency don't grow like leaves on trees. Then how come my money comes and goes so seasonally? And I wish farmers planted plants instead of thieves. My friend pays a ton of green for greener groceries. Yeah, she tries. Then again, she don't try. She gets an F for effort. She'll plant a tree next time. Yeah, she tries. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a D next time. Yeah, I try. Then again, I don't try. I get an F for effort. I get a 65. Yeah, I try.